motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
May I hear a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and second to approve the agenda. I call for the order. All those in agreement with the motion, state that by raising their hands. Motion is approved, the agenda is approved. Second item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the November 7th, 2024 regular and executive session. Chair will call for a motion on this item. We hear a motion on this.
I make a motion that we approve the November 7th regular and executive session. Second.
It's been properly motioned and seconded to approve this minutes. Call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Motion carries. The next item is approval of the time limit of 2 minutes for each taxpayer to address the Board of Assessors at a meeting. This is an update to the policies and procedures. The board will entertain a motion on this item. And this again is to update and put a time element to amend our policies and procedures for 2 minutes for any taxpayer, anyone wishing to address the board.
For a motion that we approve the time limit of 2 minutes for each taxpayer to address the Board of Assessors at a meeting and updating the policy and procedure manual.
Do I hear a second?
I second it.
It's been properly moved and second to approve the time limit of 2 minutes for each taxpayer to address the Board of Tax Assessors at their meetings. This is an update to the policy and procedures manual. Call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hands. The motion carries. The next item is approval of VA homestead exemptions for 4 property owners.
Okay. Since this is being taped, I'm not gonna call them out. Okay. Because that might be, have repercussions. That's one. Disabled veteran homestead application. Another homestead, disabled veteran homestead application. As you know, disabled veterans are approved year-round. Third disabled veteran application. Fourth disabled veteran application.
Chair will entertain a motion on the approval of 4 VA homestead exemptions.
I make a motion that we approve the 4 VA homestead exemptions.
Second.
It's been properly motioned and second to approve the VA 4 homestead exemptions. All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Motion carries. Next item is personnel issue.
Okay, Mr. Chairman and the Board of Assessors, we've had some personnel issues in our office, and I think it would be beneficial if you heard directly from the staff about how they feel about these personnel issues. I informed them that they have 2 minutes each to express themselves. Okay, you can call
So,
them
Mr.
one by
Chair-
one.
So, Mr. George, we asked that the attorney be present. Is the attorney present?
Where's she at?
She's on the way? Okay. Do you want to?
You want to wait? You probably will wait.
I think we need to wait. Is that the pleasure of the board to wait on the attorney to be present? So we will suspend the meeting.
She's right here.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna unplug you so I don't trip, but
That's okay.
I need to plug back in.
How are you all? Well,
Okay. Let the minutes reflect that we have Ms. Brody here, the county attorney, and she'll be acting as legal counsel for the Board of Tax Assessors this afternoon. Thank you, Ms. Brody, for making yourself available
Oh, of
to attend
course.
today's meeting. Hopefully, you can help us navigate through the legal ramifications as stated in the state law to where what this board's authority is in the area of personnel management or personnel issues for the Board of Tax Assessors.
okay. And I've got a memo on that also. Let me have
Okay.
Mr. Risner. Is he in the room? Okay. Okay, you can proceed. I've got a memo on that I provided to he and the Board of Commissioners to give them direction that I'd like to provide to you all as well.
Sure, we'd be more than happy to, if you want to read it or share it, however you want.
I'll just share it with you all. It just gives you the legal standing as far as the employees in the tax assessor's office.
All right, Ms. Brody, you have the floor.
What is your question? What is your standing?
What is our
Okay,
standing?
okay.
Could you please reference for the order, the state law that authorizes the Board of Tax Assessors to take any actions relative to personnel, for the proper authorization of the office?
Okay. So, and I wasn't sure exactly what this agenda item is, but I have a memo that outlines the state law that I've asked for Mr. Risner to print for you all and bring into the room. So I'll quote the actual law as soon as I get that memo. But Georgia state law gives you all sole authority over the employees in the tax assessor's office. So any of the hiring and firing decisions must be made by you all. The Board of Commissioners has no standing and no authority over those employees, over your tax assessor or the employees themselves. It's an independent office. They report all to you all.
Could you expand upon that a little bit from a legal opinion, for the sake of the board members? Do you have any insight to why that code section?
It's long-standing, and it's been litigated numerous times. And district courts have firmly found in each case ruling, they're not, his office is independent. And he and his employee, Mr. George, and his employees report solely to you all. And so that they just simply don't fall under the governance of the Board of Commissioners. They fall under your board.
I understand that. I'm just saying, not for your personal opinion, but for your legal opinion.
Well,
Why the Board of Tax Assessors have total, anonymity on the operation of the Board of Tax Assessors?
well, my legal opinion is district courts, which are high-level courts, have heard this, and the case law firmly sets all requirements regarding the tax assessor himself and his employees, all report to you all and not to the Board of Commissioners. They are not deemed employees of the Board of Commissioners. They're employees that are governed by, thank you, Shannon brought them to.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they wanted that case law. I said, I've just done memos on this. Thank you, Mr. Risner.
You're welcome.
And you said this was made available to the Board of
Yes, at our
Commissioners
last
on
meeting. Yeah, so
November 5th.
everyone would know, you all and the Board of Commissioners needed to know, because I know there were a lot of issues going on as far as who could step in and have any authority to address the issues and concerns regarding Mr. George and his employees. And Georgia law it's very clear that it's solely the Board of Tax Assessors, not the tax commissioner, not the Board of Commissioners.
And Ms. Brody, would you say this is the first time you actually have presented these items to the Board of Tax Assessors?
So first time I've given you all this memorandum. I have given my opinion previously. When some of the employees approached the Board of Commissioners with some concerns, it was very clear in that meeting. I'm not sure if you all were in there or not. I know there's a lot of meetings, they run together. But it was clear in that meeting that I instructed the Board of Commissioners that they could listen as just a citizen comment, but they could not take any course of action as it related to that department or to those employees. And that is, it's my understanding, why following that meeting, that issue was placed on your agenda, your next, y'all may have had an emergency meeting, or it may have just fallen under your next
Let me
meeting.
interject something. The question, and please, maybe I misstated it, but this is the first time you have provided this legal information to the Board of Tax Assessors.
To you all face to face, yes. I believe you all were in, I don't know if you were in
No, I
that
wasn't
meeting
in
or
the
not.
meeting, so
Okay.
I just want, for the record, this is the first time
That I
we've
have
been
told you
given
directly.
legal counsel on the state law. Is that correct?
This is the first time I've told you all, yes.
So
This is the
going
first time
forward,
I've ever been asked to even
Okay.
be at one of your
Okay,
meetings.
so going forward, I just want the board to know, now we have legal opinion.
Yes, sir.
We have a benchmark on which to operate, because it got a little gray area in the
It
beginning.
it
And I
is
think
a
our
confusing
intent wasn't to
opinion.
violate any state laws, we just was misinformed, so thank you for sharing that
Yes,
with
sir.
us. So at this point, for the record, let it reflect that we are now been properly legally advised of our responsibilities as they reflect the personnel
Yes, sir.
operation of the office, correct?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Okay, so, Mr. George, you want to continue, you want me to continue?
You can continue.
All right, so according to law, any issues brought before the Board of Tax Assessors involving personnel has to be done in an open meeting.
Yes, so all concerns, evidence, testimony, all of that must be taken, heard in open meeting. The only thing that you all can do in executive session is the discussion of what to do with what you have heard. Nothing new can be presented in executive session. It can just be, do we want to fire? Do we want to, discipline? What do we do with the information we've been provided or that we've heard in the open meeting? Then you would come back into open meeting to actually take the vote on what you want to do.
So, is my summary of what's happened, and I'm not one to lead into innuendos or hearsay or newspaper articles. And for the record, I have not involved myself in conversation with Mr. George beyond the operation of the normal agenda items. So any information from the chair this afternoon would be first time forthcoming. Again, I'm not leading myself into any accusations or concerns that have been generated other than what we're being presented this afternoon. Is that the general consensus of the board members, or you all have a different position? What I'm asking
I was about to say,
for a
please
fair level understanding of the information, and I know gossiping and things of that nature, we did attempt to try to address the issues several meetings ago, but it was a fact-finding meeting when the employees came forward. So with that exception, this will be the first time we'll be hearing any comments from any personnel
Yes, sir.
pertaining to the operation of the office.
May I interject for a moment? The meeting that was held that was in executive session, that you all obtained a lot of sort of evidence and people coming forward, that was not a proper meeting. That was under Georgia law, that was an illegal meeting. And so I would advise you legally not to take into account anything you heard in that during that time because it was improperly heard to start with. And so all of that evidence would need to be heard in open session. I mean, that's the proper and legal way to do it. I also, again, I've never been asked to come to one of your meetings. I'll be happy to come to any that you all feel I need to attend and that it would be helpful. I will say I had a little bit of concern. It's my understanding from your policies and procedures, and correct me if I'm wrong or if it's been amended or adjusted or updated, but the copy that I had allowed for 10 minutes time limit for the speakers. And so I saw on the agenda that we were limiting it to 2. If our policies and procedures allow for 10, we can't then just sort of arbitrarily limit that time to 2 minutes.
All right, so we just voted to amend the manual for 2 minutes.
So are you saying we can't do that? How do you amend it then?
Well, you wouldn't do it at the same meeting. I mean, it's not, I'm gonna amend it, okay, now it's in place and you only have 2 minutes.
Gotcha.
So that would,
It's okay to do it now, and then the next meeting it's in effect. So you're saying we can't do it now and it be in effect at the same time?
well, I need to look at your policies and procedures then in relation to that question and see when it would go into effect, whether it would be the next meeting or whether there's multiple readings that are required. And I'll be more than happy to look at that and give you a response, but it can't be same meeting.
That's your legal opinion.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And anything arbitrary to that would be not operating within the frameworks of it.
Yes, sir.
So right now, we're a little bit in a daze on the action we just taken this afternoon on item number 3.
I'm not saying that you can't amend it for that to occur, but it can't go into effect at the, you don't vote on it and then yes, sir.
But
So
you said you don't know whether it's gotta have 1 reading or 2 meetings, so at this point.
I can't tell you
we'll
if,
rely on you.
yes, sir,
to
I'll
inform
get
us
back with
when
you.
we can.
Yes, sir.
That's what I was
Of whether that can go into effect at the next meeting or the meeting after that.
It doesn't say.
Okay. And I'll just double check. I don't doubt Mr. George, but just to, confirm with you
And
all.
let me just say this for the benefit of the audience, we usually don't have an audience here.
Yeah.
I mean, so our misinformation or lack of information pertaining to that, unfortunately, probably been based upon, and I hadn't been here but a year, on our non-entertaining audience and that we had, okay? So that being said, what we would like to do today or this evening is call upon staff to present any information or anything that could help the board understand some of the concerns they may have with the or how they feel about the operation of their employment in the Board of Tax Assessors office. Is that defined? So Chair will ask if the employee is present. You don't have to say anything, but if you want to say something, then you're at liberty to say it, and according to our attorney, you have 10 minutes to do that. And I would caution everyone to be civil and be courteous, be informative, and hopefully we can get some information that the board can use to determine a fair, equitable, outcome to whatever problems that may exist. Is that fair? Okay. So I've got a list here. Let's start with Ms. Kim Adams. Ms. Adams, would you like to present anything to the board for the good of the order?
And would you like for me to be the timekeeper?
You may be the timekeeper. Thank you.
My name is Kim Adams. I've worked for the Jones County Tax Assessor's Office since April 2012. I enjoy helping taxpayers of Jones County handle their tax matters. I respect and appreciate the process of mass appraisal. I believe it is the responsibility of the Board of Tax Assessors, the Chief Appraiser, the appraisal staff, and the support staff to provide a fair and uniform digest. I enjoy the critical thinking and understanding needed to handle tax matters in our cyclical workload. I look forward to serving the taxpayers of Jones County for years to come in a truly safe work environment.
The next, employee, if you would like to make a statement to the Board of Assessors, is Bill Gooden. Mr. Bill, you got anything?
Get the screen up here, right here. On September 3rd of this year, I spoke at a commissioners meeting detailing areas of concern in our department. Among the issues I named was the wide disparity of grades on similar homes, the overuse of overrides to chase sales, and the need for sales ratio studies when adjusting neighborhoods. As evidenced from the last couple of meetings, these points have all been found to be valid and hopefully will be addressed soon. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Good. The next employee is Lynette Jones. Ms. Jones, would you like to say anything?
As you can see, this has really affected me. I don't like what's going on. I know you all have received my letter and read my letter and my concerns.
Okay, I don't mean to
I'm
interrupt you,
sorry.
but any of your concerns have to be presented. They can't sort of take evidence outside of the open meeting. So anything that you want them to consider, and I know this is hard, but you need to tell them.
I want to say that our office has always been safe. We used to be a family. We used to be a family in that office. September 3rd changed that with personal agendas by 2 staff members. Our office will never be the same ever again. That trust is broken. I do not want to work with someone who takes pleasure in the downfall of others. There's been 2 other co-workers who quit because of low-key bullying in that office, and it was not due to Mr. George. I'm tired. This has got to stop. October 25th was too far. They took it too far. And I don't want to work with someone that I may be put in jeopardy of losing my job or maybe arrested for something that I did not do. It's hard to stand here and put forth what I feel because I have so many emotions right now. Because I love everybody in that office. This is really taking a toll on me. I come to work and I do my work at the best of my ability. And for this to happen, it's not right. And I really do ask that y'all think about this, take immediate action, because there is a hidden agenda, and I I truly believe that Kim and Bill was put up to do this. I truly do. I don't know what was promised to them.
Eh,
But
Facts.
that is how I feel. That's my belief. The office has always been safe. We've never had fights. We've never nothing. The office has never been volatile. As far as things go with the procedures, 8 years ago, when I first started working, Kim told me, even before Mr. George began working there, that the Jones County Tax Assessor's office was a laughing stock of the tax community. And that was under the leadership of Linda Sibley. No one batted an eye. Nobody had a problem then. What's the problem now? There was a toxic work environment before Tony came. I wasn't a part of that. Like I said, you had 2 workers that quit because of that. I don't know what else to say. Since I can't really say what I want to say, but that is how I feel. It's very, well, it was very uncomfortable to work in that office. Right now it's pleasant right now. Due to some staff members that are not in the office. I will say that. I do think that there is a lot of misinformation given to the taxpayers. And I think this is a time that a lot of people in this room is being educated on what we all need to know. And that's it. That's all I got. I hope you would take that in consideration. I thank you for listening to me. Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Ms. Attorney, Ms. Brody,
Yes, sir.
give me a little more information on the parameters. You stated facts, so I didn't give those instructions at the beginning of the presentation.
Well, so,
And I surely don't want to interrupt someone that didn't have an opportunity to get property.
yes.
So is that,
So, what they've seen, heard, experienced, but the last thing that you want to allow is sort of people to make speculation, truthful or not truthful, I don't know. But if there's absolutely, if it's completely groundless as far as the person stating that has zero support behind it, zero evidence, then that's far field from facts
yes, ma'am.
and evidence and, you know, what they've experienced, things like that.
I understand, but could you leave that to the chair, please?
Yes, sir.
You're here as counsel, not to chair the meeting.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. The next person up would be Tanisha Farley Clark. Ms. Tanisha. I always pronounce your name wrong, I'm sorry.
I am the secretary or receptionist in the office. I have been employed since May of 2018, May 28th of 2018. I can agree with Lynette. This office, like, the trust is broken. Prior to September the 3rd, even I would say it started September the 3rd, but even if you go back to the meeting that was had in the commissioners, but by the commissioners, I think it was like August the 27th, when it was said that the office was incompetent or the board was incompetent. I feel like everything spiraled then. It went downhill. That same week, Kim's birthday is in August, the end of August. Bill's birthday is the end of August. We got a cake for them. That's not, you wouldn't get a cake for someone if you was working in a hostile environment. We considered them friends, like we were family. Every year for Christmas, we give each other gifts. That's not a hostile environment. It's been like that even before. I mean, we've been doing gifts and putting things in stock, and since I came, and that was in 2018. But I have to agree, I don't feel comfortable working with someone when, I mean, who's to say I'm next? Will the police be called on me next? Will I be arrested next? Last Thursday, I was leaving, going home, and I take the bypass. I have to turn on 22 because I live in Hatter. I stay in Fox Creek. I knew it was drizzling, it was raining. I seen Kim. I seen her, she went by, but I was behind her. I think it was like a couple of cars in front of that was turning in Evergreen, 1 or 2 or not. But I stayed back. And everybody know, I mean, Bill used to tease me all the time and call me Speedy. He say I drive fast, but I stayed back. I think I dropped down to like 48 to 50. I stayed back that far because if I pass her, what is she going to say? That I'm trying to run her off the road? Will the police show up at my door? Or here at the job to question me? So I stayed back. And my speed just steady drop. It just steady drop. But I'm just saying, like, it's just when the whole, the trust is gone in that office. And it wasn't like that. Even the meeting when Sam was the one that called it, was whatever he said about the incompetence, you have to go back and look to be very detailed. Bill came to work, he was pissed the next day. He called that man everything but a child of God. But then the following week, it's a whole nother different story. It's a whole nother different story. He wasn't in agreement with that meeting. Neither one of us was in agreement with the meeting. Kim said that Sam just showed that he has no control. And if I got to tell what Kim or Bell said, I said that he sounded like a bully. He gave bully vibes. I said, but what I can do, I could respect what he say. I said, because if he seemed to be standing on his word. If he say something, he mean it. He don't throw a rock and hide his hand. Where you may have some of the commissioners, they say something, but if they come to our meeting, they haven't spoke. Sam the only one that get up and spoke and give his opinion. So I can respect, I'm respect them too, but to me, I have a lot of respect for him because he stand on what he say. He don't hide it. You know who you dealing with. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
The next person,
This is my letter that I had sent to Shannon and Jason.
could someone, because I only got one copy, I need to share with the rest of the board, can somebody make copies?
I have.
You have copies, okay. The next person to present to the Board of Tax Assessors is Tommy Lee Cosby.
I started in Jones County in March of 23, so I've only been here about almost 2 years. And when I first started, everybody got along for the most part pretty good. And I enjoyed coming to work. Thank you. The last couple of months has been real difficult, and it seems like the longer it goes on, the more difficult it is to come to work every day. I've tried to stay in the middle for the most part since the September Commissioners meeting. I've talked, up until the last couple of weeks, I talked to Bill and Kim, and I still talk to the ladies in the front of the office. I've tried to be friendly with everybody. The last 2 weeks has really made me realize more than what I already did, that you can't trust anybody. Whether it's somebody you grew up with or somebody you just started working with. A word is all that a man's got, and if you break it, you ain't no good to you. And a hostile work environment or a uncomfortable work environment doesn't lend itself to long-term employment with anybody. I've enjoyed working here. Things have got to start getting better. Can't keep going the way it's been going. I just want it to be peaceful in the office and be able to enjoy coming to work again.
Thank you, Scott. That concludes everyone I have. Mr. George, you want to make a presentation?
No, I really have nothing to say about it. I wanted you to hear from the board, from the staff, and with their concerns and fears that they have.
They've been presented as part of.
They would have to be disclosed, yes.
Yeah. Well, they're here for the record. They're on the minutes. They're part of the minutes. Minutes of public record, right?
Yes,
Okay, they are disclosed.
you don't have to read it.
I'd like to
No, ma'am.
thank all.
I have a question, quick question.
Yes,
In
ma'am.
my letter, I referenced to the meeting that resulted into, that was dealing with the arrest of another employee. I did send a copy to Shannon and Jason, but I know Ashley's saying everything has to be presented here. I have the picture on my phone showing the date that it was posted.
Okay.
Well, the
You
date
saying we have a
when I
different?
started, the meme had been on my desk, it was already on my desk when I started, and I was employed May 29th of 2018.
Okay, and you just caught me off guard. Now, what are we referring to?
That's in my letter, but I'm just saying that, it was said that the meme was just printed out. That meme was just printed out today when it was actually printed out in 2018.
Okay.
Well, prior to 2018.
All right, so you had it already dated.
Well, y'all got a screen, because I had took a picture back then of 2018, back in September 2018. But I gave a copy to Shannon and Jason.
Is this the letter that you want to be accepted as part of the minutes? You like to put a date on it? You don't have a date on it? That's what you're saying, you want to put a date on it now?
No, my letter referenced a picture of a meme
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
Okay. That's it.
From the chair, I'd like to thank all the employees for your candid comments. I know it was difficult to do that. It appears that everyone wants to see the office operate in a very, compatible, friendly environment. I can tell you that the Board of Tax Assessors here would like to no more than add that same element back to your offices. Hopefully we can come to some resolution that is fair and equitable. That is our purpose for meeting this afternoon out on a call meeting. I can say that for the audience, thank you for being civil and sitting through this so far. We still have a couple items on the agenda, but at At this time, the chair will entertain a motion to enter into executive session, for the remainder of the personnel items to be addressed.
I'll offer a motion that we, end the regular session and go into executive.
Do I hear a second to that motion?
That's second.
There's been properly motion and second to enter into close out the regular session and go into executive session of the Housing County Board of Tax Assessors. I mean, Jones County, I said Housing County so much as I tattooed on my brain. The Jones County Board of Tax Assessors, call for the question. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries. Y'all wanna make a 2-minute break?